Hey there, vacation dreamers. You've landed on Book Solid, the podcast where two travel advisors share insider tips, top destinations, bucket list activities, and everything you need to get the most out of your next vacation. We'll cover what's included, what's not, and throw in plenty of real talk and laughs as we help you plan with confidence. Let's jump in.
Hey guys, today we are talking all about the Disney dining plan, what it is, what different types of plans there are, what's included, and all the little caveats with it. So let's get into it.
So I'll start with one of the two. I'm going to start with the cheaper option. It is going to be your quick service dining plan. So with this quick service dining plan, as you can tell by the name, it's any type of quick service. So anything you walk up to like a kiosk or just like kind of like fast food type thing. This is what these types of credits are. Before I do go into that, because jumping everywhere, because that's my brain. When you add this as the dining plan, it just becomes part of your package. So, whatever that cost is, we'll talk about it because it varies per person. And then obviously, the price per kid is also different compared to adults. But this is something that you prepay up forward with your trip. So, everything is paid for by the time you show up for your trip. So, 30 days in advance. Um, so back to what I was saying is the quick service. So it does vary by adult and child. So with the adults, and I have it next to me. So if you see me looking over, if you're watching like a clip of it or whatever, I am looking over just to make sure I say the correct information because I never want to give incorrect information. But for adults, and this is also for kids of 10 years and up. So if your kids are, 10 years old or whatever, they do qualify for adult quick service. But these are going to be $57 or yeah, $57.01 per night. So if you're doing a 5 night stay, but you're only going to the parks 3 days, for example, you're getting five quick service credits because it's per night of your resort stay. For kids, which is ages 3 through 9, because again, at Walt Disney World and Disneyland, kids under the age of 3 get into the parks for free. So if they're, eating solid foods, then they just eat off of your plate or, your other kids or whatever if you have other kids. Um, but the price for kids is going to be $23.83 again per night. So it's about, half the cost of an adult credit. So when you show up to your resort, you're going to be front loaded these credits. It's not like you get your credits per day. They are front loaded into your Disney account the second you check into your resort. So you can use them as you please. You can use them all the first day. You can, divide them up evenly among the days. It's up to you. Obviously, whatever you use, you lose. Or if you don't use, you lose. Sorry, I said that wrong. Um, so again, with the quick service, you get the two quick service meals per night of your stay. So, you can do like breakfast and lunch or lunch and dinner or whatever. And then you also get one snack or a non-alcoholic drink, for each night of your stay. And then obviously for both dining plans, you'll get a refillable resort mug. So when you guys are staying at your resort, you can go up to the food court or, whatever is at that resort and you can refill your cup with whatever, soda you want for the day as many times as you want.
At the resorts.
Yes, sorry.
That with the refillable mugs, it having it not be at the park is a little tricky,
For sure.
although we did fine without it. Um, but it is and you can go to any resort and fill them up. So if you're at Contemporary and you're grabbing a dinner or quick service there, but you're staying at the All Stars, you can refill your mug at the Contemporary.
Hmm.
You don't have to do it at your home resort.
Yep.
For the quick service, I like to suggest like maybe you grab a breakfast and then you have your snack for midday, and then you can use your other quick service for dinner
Hmm.
and to kind of spread it out. But it will, both of these plans will feel like a lot of food. That's what a lot of people will say. The quick service may not as much,
Mm-hmm.
but the full dining plan does feel like a lot of food.
Mm-hmm.
But if you think about it, I mean, a kid's being only $23 a night, the meals for kids are anywhere, I would say, between 6 and 10, depending on where you go. So
Yeah.
there's definitely ways to maximize this plan.
Oh yeah. Which we can
Nice
talk about.
kids meals is you're getting your entree, usually getting a side or two plus a drink.
Yep.
So there's a lot of value in those kid meals,
Mm-hmm.
um, that either they can be split pretty easily depending on your kids and their ages, um, or you tuck that extra orange. Lots of times it's an orange or a packet of apples or something. Pack it in for later. Pack it in your bag. But if you think $23 a day, the kids' meals, the two service meals alone are going to cover that per night.
Mm-hmm.
And then your snack is then almost a bonus because again, there are ways to maximize that snack to get the
Mm-hmm.
most value out of it, and then your refillable mug depending on how often you fill it up.
Mm-hmm.
So moving into the, I like to call almost the full dining plan. You get, again, it's per night, per person. You're going to have to help me with the cost,
Mm-hmm.
but it is one table service. So it's a sit down restaurant
Mm-hmm.
per person per night, one quick service meal,
Mm-hmm.
one snack, and then your refillable mug.
Yeah.
Um, with those table service meals, adults are able to get an alcoholic drink. Uh, I think they get them at quick service meals too.
I think so too. I think it's
Yeah.
just your obviously your snack credit. So I don't think they want to advertise necessarily that you can get an alcoholic drink. I just think it's something, if you work with someone or you just know that about the dining plan, I am like 95% sure. There's like that one little doubt. Um, that alcoholic drinks do count as a snack credit.
I was thinking they were for quick, but we usually get the full dining plan and we don't drink too much. So,
Okay.
but I do know at a table service you can get that adult beverage and it's part of the meal. Um, and then a non-alcoholic specialty drink, which it could be like, I think like milkshakes or something like that, can be asked for in lieu of a alcoholic drink.
Yeah.
Um, what? Go ahead and say what the prices are.
So this one obviously is going to be more because this is table service. So for adults per night, again, it starts at age 10. So you're looking at $94.28 per night for each adult. And then for kids, you're looking at $29.69, which is like a third of the cost, which is very interesting.
And these could change at any time
Mhm.
too, as Disney adjusts things,
I imagine it'll change at the end of the fiscal year, so end of September.
especially with the rising cost of everything.
Yep.
Um, but again, if you break it down, I would say your average quick service for an adult,
Hmm.
your dinners are going to be more.
Yeah.
Um, breakfast or character meals are going to be more.
Yes,
So I would
those
say
are
the
most expensive.
average cost for an adult is around $60,
Hmm.
give or take. And then your quick service, if you get an alcoholic beverage, that bumps that up by $10 easily.
Oh yeah.
um, your quick service, you're looking at about 15,
Hmm.
and then your snack anywhere between 5 to 10.
Yeah,
Your mug. Um,
for sure.
again, there are ways to maximize
Hmm.
that meal. There are some restaurants that do require two table service credits. Usually those are signature dining experiences. Hoop de Doo takes 2 credits. And
Cinderella
like
Royal Table.
Yeah, Cinderella's Royal Table. Thank you. I think Akershus is now.
Yeah, I think I was about
Well,
to say shoes. So really the best rule of thumb, especially like if you're doing this on your own and you're trying to figure out Disney, really the best rule of thumb is when you go into the Disney app, like specifically for Disney World, and you research all of the different restaurants, like it'll show you dollar signs to see, how much it's going to cost. So obviously the more dollar signs you see, obviously it's going to be, 2 credits. And I think Cinderella's Royal Table is either $3 or $4 signs. But if you go to the cost for, to go to that restaurant, if you see upwards of close to $100, that tells you right there it's going to be 2 credits because of how much it costs just to have that character dining.
and for like Cinderella's Royal Table and like Hoop-Dee-Doo, it's part of the experience. You're getting the experience too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so, like Brianna said, with the credits and how they're just kind of dumped into your account, so you kind of then use and figure out where you're gonna skip a meal more or less the
Mm-hmm.
next day. So maybe you you know you're going to Cinderella's Royal Table for lunch or dinner. So maybe you have a snack instead because you know you're having a big heavy meal. And then the next day you use 2 quick services that day to make up make up for the 2 credits. There are some restaurants that are not on the dining plan.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Space 220 is one of those that is not on the dining plan. And it seemed, from what I can tell, a lot it's those restaurants that are not owned by Disney.
I was about
They're
to say
owned
that.
by, I want to say it's Portela or something like that, food group
Mm-hmm.
that are not on there. So that's something to kind of pay attention to too. I had a client, they wanted to do, they were on the dining plan, wanted to do Space 220, and then she realized it's not on the dining plan. I was like, oh my goodness, you're right. She's like, it's okay. We're gonna work it out. And I think they ended up doing Cinderella's Royal Table, which took that 2nd credit anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so, um, the other thing with table service and table service in general, remember you have to tip.
Mm-hmm.
And with the dining plan, gratuities are not included
Mm-mm.
except at prepaid meals, which are Cinderella's Royal Table, Hoop-Dee-Doo, might be it. Um, so remember to tip your servers.
Mm-hmm.
If you are a party of more than 6, I believe is their cutoff, then they're going to add that gratuity. I think it's an 18% gratuity on there.
Yeah.
So just take note of that too. I mean, you could obviously pay more if you had exceptional service.
We hope you do, being at Disney World.
Exactly. You can absolutely leave more. If not, or I mean, otherwise that is already included if you have a large party.
Mm-hmm.
I would say our family, I enjoy being on the dining plan. I know it's not for everybody,
Mm-hmm.
but I enjoy being on it because I enjoy the convenience of it, not having to think about every dollar that we are spending on food while we're there. That I have prepaid, we have made plans, and we know how to maximize this dining plan and get the most out of it. We've done it both ways, and I will 100% pay for the dining plan every time if it's available. Just because I don't want to tell my kids, we can't do this or we can't do that
Yeah.
because we're worried about spending an extra $600 while we're down there versus having it already kind of in
Mm-hmm.
my brain paid for.
Yeah.
And I know I like to go down to, I like, because the prices are right on the Disney website. So if you know you're eating at Cinderella's royal table, say, and your bill is going to be $400 for four people, do the math in your head. Go ahead and have your tips already. And I usually have envelopes for each restaurant. I know I'm
Oh, that's
extra,
smart. Oh, that's smart.
extra. And so then I'll say, oh, let me grab my Cinderella Royal table envelope, and then done. I don't have to think about that tip later either.
Mhm.
It makes it so easy.
Yeah. I was
Oh,
gonna say too, like the dining plan is really hard, to talk about because it's definitely up to what's best for you and your family. Like, you've tried it, like Amanda, you've tried it. I have not personally because I personally, for like my family, it's just me and my boyfriend, or like if I go with my family, like it's not worth the cost to us, because one, it's just upfront cost, whatever. But it's really something to talk about. There are pros and cons to it. I mean, there's ways to, profit from it. I always try to tell clients, you're going to do best what's, for you and your family. I kind of go through both. And I say, it's definitely worth it if you guys are big foodies, like if you really like food, if you're kind of not necessarily adventurous, but like to try different things, and really just want to maximize, like if you're really big on like steaks and, nicer type meals, then yes, you're going to 1000% maximize the budget, that you're given. Whereas if your kids are really set on like, chicken tenders and chicken nuggets and, just really basic meals, then no, you're not gonna capitalize on it. You're gonna lose money on it because, you're doing very basic meals. Again, it's total personal preference on whether you add it or not. A lot of people add it simply for the convenience. Like I had a family go during spring break and they added it because they had three kids. And then she's like, I just want one less thing to worry about. And I was like, I totally get it. And their kids are really big on like chicken tenders and, all the super simple meals. But she's like, you know what? I don't want to deal with the headache of spending, because they're kids, they're going to want cotton candy. They're going to want this, 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 this. But if you're kind of set to the dining plan, you could be like, no, you see, we only have, these credits for the day. This is, if that's what you want to spend your credit on, that's what you're getting for the day. You could be a lot more strict other than saying, well, you know, we have
mhm.
this, but kids concretely, they don't understand that.
I would say you're going to get a lot out of the dining plan too if you do a lot of character meals. So
Boom.
if you have young kids and standing in line is not ideal to you to wait for those characters, then planning breakfasts, dinners, depending on again your preference, um, character meals will get you it's easy because the characters are going to come right to your table
Yep.
and they're going to get that interaction. And you don't have to wait in line and they're being fed.
And I would say personally, as someone who has met characters and done character dining with little kids, I feel like the characters are a lot more personable when you're doing the sit down meals because they're going to sit there and engage with you. Like, whenever I did storybook dining for Disneyland and it was Mickey, Minnie, Pluto, Chip and Dale, like they were at our table for a good few minutes just interacting with the kids, versus a meet and greet, it's going to be pretty quick because there's obviously other people who also, want to meet Mickey Mouse or, whoever. So you feel like you're more pressed for time versus being at a restaurant. I mean, everybody's there eating. The characters are going to come when they come because there's multiple characters. And even when you go to a character dining, by the time you finish the meal, your server will come to you and say, hey, did you meet all the characters? And if you tell them no, then they will go find the characters to make sure that before you leave, that you get to meet those characters. Like they obviously understand that we're paying a pretty penny to be at these restaurants. And obviously the big part is the character. So they are going to do everything in their power to make sure that you see every single character.
Mhm.
So,
I would say some of my most favorite character interactions with our kids
mhm,
have been at character meals.
yeah.
Um, my little Micah, when we took him just under 2, he's not a morning person, especially if he hasn't ate.
Mhm.
And so we got to it was 1900 Park Fair, but at that time it was Tigger, Pooh, Alice, the Mad Hatter, Mary Poppins, maybe she was there.
Yeah, because that would make sense because it's the Grand Floridian.
Couldn't remember if she was there that morning, but um, it was one of those times where as soon as we sat down, then the characters were like on top of you.
Yeah.
Um, so we didn't get a whole lot of like time, and he wasn't having it. He was like, I am tired. They woke me up. I haven't ate. And so he sat there at the table. And if you're listening to this, I apologize, but you can watch it on YouTube. Like this. And then here comes Alice. She's like, oh, are we playing a game? I can do it too. And she sat down and they both did, just scowled, head down. I have the best picture. It's one of my most favorite pictures. And then in like the same breath, here comes the Mad Hatter.
Oh
And my
no.
oldest, Evan, is more of a morning person.
Hmm.
It's funny, they've switched spots now, but he was more of a morning person. And he's got this goofy grin on his face. And then you have the Mad Hatter being the Mad Hatter. And they're both just like,
Oh, that is too
uh,
funny.
so fun. I absolutely loved it. But so if you want character meals, if you have young kids and characters are priority, just if they're not used to characters, know that those character interactions may not be the best.
Yeah, because they're gonna come right up to the table, like you said, they're gonna get up and close and personal and try and engage with the kids. Like my best friend's daughter was hiding under the table to play hide and seek.
Oh,
That's how they did it because obviously she was being really shy, which is not,
like her.
yeah, she's very bubbly like my best friend. So we were very shocked, but both Mickey and Minnie both got down, on her level and we're like, "Hey, like peekaboo kind of thing." And I was like, "Yeah, she's playing hide and seek."
I love that. Yeah, our first trip, Evan was just under 2, and he did not like the characters until the last day when we went to see Winnie the Pooh at Crystal Palace. And then all of a sudden he was like, I love the characters. I'm like, we've been here for 4 days,
Mhm.
friend. It took us all 4 days,
Yep.
but it's fine.
Mhm.
Um, Something to think about too is you had mentioned 3 and under 3. I
Yeah.
always say under 3, so 2 and under.
Mhm.
Um, they are free,
Mhm.
but make sure they're on the dining reservation for one.
Mhm.
And then at any table service, not tables, at any table service that is family style, buffet, all you can eat, they will be able to eat off your plate. They'll get their own drink
Mhm.
and then they're still free. Um, if it is a plated meal, we learned this the hard way. If it is a plated meal at like say Coral Reef,
Mhm.
which is not one of my favorites, but they they can eat off your plate, but they're not getting their own plate or drink like they do at the buffets or the all you can eat
Yeah.
family style, whatever it is. So keep that in mind too. I would say most of the character meals are buffets or all you can
Mhm.
eat.
Yeah.
If you do want to, have something a little different and you have a child who is 2 or under, then know that you will need to either pay for a meal or whatever, if you want them to have their own separate food.
Yeah.
Um, and that goes this for anytime you eat at one of those restaurants, not just on the dining plan. And I think you did say this, credits will expire at midnight on the day you check out.
Yeah. So it's not like, let's say you have like two table service credits. Not that that would happen. I would hope at least those are the ones that are gone because that's where the price tag is. But let's just say, you have two table service credits and it's like the day you're checking out. This isn't something that you can roll over to your next trip. It's in the fine print when you purchase the dining plan and even when you show up to the resort that whatever credits you do not use you're not getting refunded. There are no refunds for unused credits. You pay for it right then and there, and you understand the terms and conditions that whatever is used, not used, you lose it. You forfeit that money that you put into those credits. So again, like we said at the beginning, use them how you want. If you want to just go all out the first day, first couple days, whatever, that's up to you. If, you want to use them, like you get per credit per day, depending on which dining plan you do, you can do it that way. Just know by that night that you check out, they will expire. So whatever you don't use, you don't get your money back. There's no refunds. Like you can call Disney. They're not going to refund you. Disney's very, very, very accommodating. The dining plan is not something they're going to budge on. They won't because it's something you literally sign up for. It's in the terms and conditions. So just know because I'm sure people do try to get a refund, because they didn't use it or whatever. So just know that you're going to pay up front. And if you don't use them, they're gone.
I would say the easiest thing if you have extra snack credits is the bags of candy,
Yeah.
the Rice Krispie treats, anything like packaged like that. Most of those things are on the snack credits.
Mhm.
And so stock up on those, take them home,
Yeah,
and then live out the magic when you're home.
for sure. Or like surprise your kids, be like, oh my gosh, look what we brought home. We brought some snacks from Disney, like make a big deal about it.
When you used to get 2 snack credits per day, we would come home with a whole suitcase full of
Yeah.
things. Um, the other thing with snacks is a lot of the food and wine festivals or the holiday festival, Festival of the Arts, any of the Epcot festivals, um, a lot of those items, food items, count as a snack credit.
Mhm.
So that is kind of a fun way to experience those foods
Yeah.
and use some of your snack credits if you have those. And they're pretty good portions
Oh yeah.
for a snack.
Oh
So,
yeah. You can definitely turn, especially, depending on obviously what you get, a lot of those quick service snacks are considered meals with just how much like protein and just like extra things that are, in it or whatever you get. It could be a meal. So if like we said, the table service and the snack credit and the quick service, like you could literally do breakfast, lunch, and dinner and it'd be
yep.
totally fine. And you don't have to spend extra money to get, whatever, lunch, for example. You can maximize it.
I think, yeah, you can absolutely maximize this and have more food than you know what to do with.
Hmm.
And there's plenty, I will say there's lots of videos out there on people um, using the dining plan, maximizing the dining plan. I know a few of our agents in our agency have done it
Yeah.
and shared their experiences. So um, there's definitely a way
Yeah.
if you want to make sure you get the most out of it, or like if Brianna said, if you're just using it for convenience to just make things easy and you're not
Mhm.
worried about it, that's totally your right and personal preference. Um, it's however you want to use it, and but it is a nice option. I will say that Disney gives, and um, again, having done it both ways, I would do it the
Another
same.
thing that just came to mind is they don't do it all year long. I think it's more so towards the summer. Correct me if I'm wrong. But sometimes, even when you book some of these packages, they will offer, kids to have free dining as long as adults purchase the dining plan. But it's just another way to even save even more money is when Disney rolls out those promotions. Again, hopefully they come back this year, as in 2026 next. Hopefully they do because they did it, I think, quite a few times in 2025 actually, where they
It's all
offered
of
kids
2026.
even better.
It's all of 20,
Yeah.
in theory, it is all of 2026 kids get to eat free.
I totally forgot about that.
I did too until you brought it up.
Yep.
Um, Next year, vacation packages, kiddos get their dining plan free with the purchase of an adult dining plan. Now, I will say the fine print does say while quantities last.
Hmm.
And I'm sure that just covers Disney in some way. But I would be curious to see if by the end of the year,
Hmm.
if they come back, but they did say all of 2026 kids eat free.
And you're probably wondering, well, okay, that doesn't sound like much of a deal. Really, if you do the math, let's say you go for 5 nights, okay, and kids are give or take $25, kind of meeting in the middle with both plans. You're looking at what is the math on that? 100 and I don't know, $25, something like that. You've just saved. If you only have one kid, that's $125 you just saved. If you've got two kids, that's $250. Like it adds up. Obviously, I mean, the adults are going to be where the most money comes from. Unfortunately, I don't foresee Disney ever offering free adults because obviously the adults are the ones that are the most expensive. I don't think that that will be offered.
Occasionally they did.
Yeah.
Uh, Back, it depends on how well or not they are doing budget and but I mean,
Yeah.
we've said Disney's a business, and so they're doing these promos to drum up business,
For
right?
sure.
And so they have done full free dining plan before.
Mhm.
I think the last time, well, no, I don't want to say the last time, but one time was like 2028, 28, 2008 into nine. They did, I think they had a free dining promo. Lots of times it's when things are slow and
Mhm.
they need to drum things up.
Yeah.
Um, but it's usually a pretty hot promo. I would say the last few times too, it has been like value and moderate, get the quick service for free, but you can upgrade to the full dining plan, and
For
then
like
your deluxe resort guests get the full dining plan for free.
yeah.
Has been how similar,
Yeah.
but kids eat free next year. Um, and it's again, it's ages 3 to 9.
Yeah.
So our Disney adults are 10 and up. Okay, tell us in the comments, are you pro dining plan or not? And tell us why. Um, there's no wrong answer.
No.
It's all personal preference.
Hmm.
Make sure to subscribe where you're listening to this or watching on YouTube, listening on Apple or Spotify. Check us out on Instagram, and we have some fun episodes coming up. So if you subscribe, then you should, in theory, we should come up faster, right? We can hope, but we will see you next time.
Bye, guys.
That's it for this episode, Vacation Dreamers. We hope you picked up some tips, ideas, and a little extra magic for your next adventure. If you enjoyed hanging out with us, be sure to follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode. You can also find us on Instagram, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts for even more travel tips and updates. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep planning, and we'll see you real soon.